Can you just let me finish?
Okay, well, I thought I had, but go ahead.
Okay, y'all, let's take turns and let each other finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the podcast where three minds give their unfiltered and sometimes unpopular opinions on all the craziness going on in our lives and in this world. We're your hosts, Jillian,
Janice.
And Michael.
Settle in and let's take a deep dive.
What's up, guys? We are back with a new episode of Let Me Finish. We have our beautiful co-host back.
Yes, I'm happy to be back, guys.
Michael's here. I'm here.
I'm here as well.
And my name is Jillian. I mean, Janice.
And my name is Michael.
Okay, so Janice,
I went
slow
off.
down on the wine. For real.
I swear I've only had 2 sips. My name is Janice, guys.
And I'm Jillian.
And I am Michael.
Okay, so so we're glad to have him back. So like I told everybody last week, we decided to do a download of pop culture because Michael's probably like, who? What's going on?
I'm out of the loop.
Like it's not
Not
me
up
and
to
pop
date.
culture all
Yeah.
day. Michael's like, books.
Yeah. It's a good impersonation.
And,
Yeah.
and like really avant-garde and like 2020 books. I'm just like,
Not me.
50 Shades of Grey.
exactly. I'm just like,
I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, maybe I need to expand my culture.
Yes.
No,
I'm like,
y'all good.
a good
Y'all
reality
good.
TV show, a smutty book.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
Well,
it.
Michael is the English major, so
Yes, I am an English major.
so
That's
he
true.
It's part of
totally
my
loves all
culture,
that
yeah.
stuff.
English
so.
literature, yeah.
It is
so-
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so last week we did that, but this week we'll talk about what we're going to get into this week, and I think it'll be a little heavier hitting than it was last week. We had a little fluff last week. Let's go a little harder hitting this week, but we'll just dive right in. Just quickly talk about our weeks.
Let's do it.
How was your week,
Jillian?
Jillian?
Let's see here. So I talked about the 2 books that I was going to start.
Yeah, talk about Queenie and how you can't get into it.
Okay, so Queenie, I am struggling.
Is it
And
not engaging?
It is like we were talking about this last week, and I was going to try and really delve into it. I'm still very much struggling because it is set in England, and sometimes I struggle with some of the
English vernacular.
Sure.
their way of talking.
Their slang.
It's hard.
Their
Yeah.
slang and all that stuff. And right now, you'll start seeing in the book where you'll see just text messages between her and other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm struggling. It seems like it's going in the right direction. It's going to get better. I just have to get past that hump. And so for me, I was just like, okay, I need to put this down. And I started Inheritance Games. And that one is actually starting to get really good. And the premise of that book is that there's this girl, she's like from Connecticut, and all of a sudden some billionaire in Texas dies and leaves his entire fortune to her.
Why?
Girl, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's what I'm reading.
So that's
Oh
what
my
I'm
God,
reading.
can that happen to me?
Yeah,
I know,
he's
amen.
like worth $56 billion, and he had like 4 grandkids that they thought they were going to inherit the fortune. And she's like, I've never met this man. I've never talked to this man. I don't know who this man was. The day that they like,
It was just a blessing.
they came to her, it's like, hey, you need to come down for this will reading. She's like, I've never even met this man before. She had never been to Texas. And so the person who died, his 4 grandsons, they only got like $250,000 a piece, and this guy is worth multiple
Wow,
billions
in
billions with an
comparison,
S.
That's like a slap in the face.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a slap in the
That must
face.
mean nothing, ho.
Yes,
that's big.
pretty much. So he has this huge estate in Texas that has like like what I've been reading is that he's lived in the house for a couple decades, and like every year he'd build on a new room or a new wing to the house. So just imagine
So constant construction.
Like it has a bowling alley, it has a couple libraries, like it's a big compound. And so for her to actually get the money and for the will to actually go through, she has to live in this house for an entire year with this guy's relatives.
Girl, hell no, it's a murder movie. It's a murder book.
Yeah,
It's a fucking. She finna be murdered.
Yeah,
Murdered.
I'm with you.
Murdered.
Murder. I call murder.
Okay, so I don't think she's gonna be
Is
murdered
this
because
a suspense book?
it's more of a mystery because right now,
bro.
the person who passed away, he is very much loved riddles and would always play like these mind games with his grandsons.
Sounds like
where
Saw.
Ooh, it does
Yeah, he
sound
liked riddles too.
It does sound like Saw.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
he would have these like, little riddles that he would play with his grandsons every week. And so he's left little clues because they were like, why did he leave you all this money? And so right now they're trying to figure out.
It's his long lost granddaughter.
They've already done the DNA test, and he's
okay.
Of
not.
course they have.
They have
This
not.
would be the first thing, yeah.
So that they were like, are you a con woman? Because she's like a teenager. She's in high school. I think she's like a junior in high school, and so she was. In fact, she was actually living out of her car.
Of course.
Yeah, because her mom passed away. Her dad's a
Dang.
deadbeat, and she was living with her sister. But
But her
her
dad's
sister
coming around now.
No,
Daddy
he's
gonna be
still.
Now she
knock-
got money.
Daddy gonna be knocking on that door soon.
Okay, hey
Well,
girl.
the daddy hasn't come back in the picture yet, but
daughter.
we'll see. But right now, the person who passed away and left the fortune has been leaving little clues, and they're trying to figure out, okay, why did this man leave me this money? They think it's in the clues that he's leaving behind. So I'm in the gist of that, trying to figure stuff out, and it feels like she's kind of catching feelings from one of the grandsons. So
Ooh,
it's
I like
kind-
the love story part.
Wow.
but it's not the main thing. So it's
But let me ask you this. Both of y'all, if y'all were in that situation, what would you do?
take the money and
You would go live in that house for a year, Julian?
in a heartbeat.
I don't.
I would.
yeah.
Ma'am.
I don't
It'd
know.
be like if anything's too good to be true, it is. It's like that.
It's
I'm
an
with you,
ironclad will. Everything is set out in the will.
Ironclad will. I could get the money if I live.
So he has, in fact, she has private. She actually has her own personal security
Jillian,
protection.
you would take the Jillian, you're the most paranoid person I know. You would
Janice
not.
for $56 billion.
I mean, it's a lot of.
It's a risk. You ain't gonna get to spend a dime of it if you're dead.
$56 million. First of all, if they've already established in the book that if she dies, or the money does not go to the family, it actually reverts to a bunch of charities. So no matter what, if she dies or no matter what, the family's not getting any money. So killing
No.
her wouldn't give them any advantage.
In this life today, there's no way I would be like, okay.
It's an ironclad.
Jillian would be like, you would be like, Janice, hell no. That's
Janice.
a scam, Janice. That's what you'd be saying.
Janice, for $56 billion,
You would be telling me
and
it's
I'm
a
living
scam.
rent free in this house.
You would tell me it's a scam.
Ma'am,
There's no way you
ma'am,
wouldn't tell me that.
ma'am. For $56 billion with a B,
Capital B.
capital B. Girl, if they told me to live under the sea, I would. I mean, I don't care. I would. That is a
shit.
lot of freaking money. To the point where they were like, one of the daughters was like, yeah, we have a foundation.
I go to a room full of birds.
And we give away $100 million a year in this foundation. She was trying to do the math. She goes, wait a minute. If they took half this money and I lost it half it to taxes, and with a simple 4% return, she said that she would still make $1 billion a year
Holy moly.
doing absolutely nothing.
Wow.
And she was doing the math in her head. I was just like, yeah, girl, I'll be living in that house for that whole year. And once after the year's done, she can go. Yeah, I
What
would.
if it's haunted though?
I don't give a shit.
So you
For
be,
real?
you be
Call
up,
me a Ghostbuster because I'm gonna be in that thing.
I'm about to say, so you'll be up in there like Insidious type shit.
Okay.
You stick
I've seen
around.
those movies.
I
I've seen
don't-
those
I
movies.
don't-
No,
Yeah.
ain't no money enough in the world gonna make me sit
I'll
out
get
with
an
no demon.
I'll get an exorcist for $56 million. Yes,
Girl.
ma'am.
Yeah, no, I'd be too scared. There's no way I would do
pass.
it.
That's a
As
hard
for
pass.
strangers, like
Yeah.
no,
No, it's a
there's
hard
no
pass.
rhyme or reason why you should. You can't tell me why.
Right.
But you, for some
But-
weird reason, you want to have this game where I go live there for a year because either
And-
you want me to have this money or you don't.
And she does have access to the money while she's in the house as well.
So it's not like hit. It's
So
not like
exactly, why would you need me to live in this house? If
you
you
got
can't
the
tell
money.
me why,
That was a stipulation, is that she had to live in the house
a
for
weird
1
stipulation.
year. That was it. That was the only thing. That was the only stipulation
I
she
want
had
to
to.
know why.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm
We have to pick
what-
it up.
Well, once I finish the book, I'll let
You'll
y'all
tell
know. And she's not gonna die because there's like 3 or 4 books in the series. So
Okay,
I'm
so
just
we at least know that.
yes.
Could be in the afterlife.
So I'm ready. I'm really ready. I'm liking it. I'm just like, okay, cool, because I've been reading a lot of romance novels. So to see this kind of mystery,
Sure.
I'm like, okay, cool.
And on top of that, it probably by the time I'm done with that, I'll probably be so jealous too. Like,
Yeah.
why can't this happen to me?
Yeah.
You just said
Damn
if it had strings attached, you wouldn't go.
I don't think I don't trust this world.
I don't either.
So I don't
At all.
I don't trust people.
I
I don't
either.
trust good intentions.
I don't either.
I'm willing to take the risk.
I mean, I guess you die,
I'm
you
with
die. But I'm just saying, I'd be like, why? Everything will be like, why?
Yeah, why? For
Why? But
Yeah.
why? Why?
Yeah.
That would be constantly that. But well,
But anyway.
your week.
Anyway, so that was Queenie. I'll get back into it. I'll push through and get back into that. And then Saturday we went and had a little girls shopping experience.
I had
fun.
my friend JJ. She has a brand, but she's an artist. But she does like all kinds of things. But it's called J9 Style and Co. And she actually partnered with Joe Malone. It's a fragrance.
Oh.
It's a fragrance company.
Very
It's like,
nice.
Oh, very cool.
nice fragrance company.
Oh, cool.
And so she partnered with Joe Malone, and she had a little pop up shop where she did some designs on their stuff.
Nice.
So I went there, supported her. I asked Julian and Stacey to come with me. I bought me a little makeup bag, got me some
Okay.
perfume.
Yeah, they
you know.
smell really nice.
Did a lot of people show up?
Yeah, she actually had a pretty good turnout. By the time we got there, it was kind of towards the end. But when I went on her Facebook, she had quite a
lot of
few. I mean,
pictures.
she sold the majority.
much a lot of the
like
stuff.
literally,
Good for
when she
her.
had the picture, Jillian, we still saw quite a bit there. She only had one shirt and one tote bag left.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good.
So I'm like, okay, so you made your sales, girl. So
Yeah.
that was So Jillian came with me to that.
And Stacey. Yeah.
And Stacy. And then other than that, this week, I don't think I did anything else. Not really. I'm excited because this week is going to be Bridgerton season 3. It comes out on Thursday.
Oh, I heard about that.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
I'm ready.
I already told Jillian, I was like, I'll probably end up watching it starting Thursday morning. I'll probably watch it every chance I get.
Yeah,
And
I've
then
never
I'll
seen
probably rewatch it again. Like right after I'm done. Like I'll probably do Thursday. Yeah, Friday night I'll be done. If I start on Thursday.
I won't start until Friday.
And then I'll probably watch it again Saturday and Sunday.
Girl.
You know what I mean?
she does that. She'll
get
definitely do that.
obsessed.
She'll get
Rewatch
obsessed.
it.
Because I've been just binging and just searching videos of it. Because that's how excited I am for it. So
I saw the picture of the Luke something. He's from that show. He's the main. I guess he's one of the main guys.
Do you know his last name?
Luke?
I don't know.
I just saw it on Instagram.
Oh, I think he plays Colin.
Is that? Oh, I think that might be right.
I think he plays
that might be
Colin.
right.
Yeah, I think that's the guy's name.
He's very cute.
He's the main. He's the It's his love story with the girl.
Okay.
This season.
Yeah,
so he's been all over
It's
everything.
Colin and Penelope.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
he's
I
a
read the
cutie.
book, so I'm excited to see it brought to
Right.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never watched it, but I feel like I'd really like it. And it seems like it's entertaining.
It's a period
Yeah.
thing. I love those period
Me too.
pieces. So I mean, I enjoy it. It's steamy. It's
Yeah.
very steamy. You know, I like my smell. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. There was something I wanted to mention, and I literally forgot. So if I remember, I will.
Yeah, stop us. Interrupt us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let Michael talk about his week, but then we had a question for the podcast that we're also gonna answer before we get into our main topic, because it was just a quick little topic we were talking about before.
Well, for me, honestly, every time I'm asked about my week, I genuinely forget that I've even had a week. I'm like, what have I done?
You're like, well, for us, I think it's like because once the weekend comes, you're like, well, the week's done.
right. I feel like
I don't know what the hell I did last week.
that's how I feel. Yeah, I'm kind of like, what did I do? Nothing particularly memorable.
Okay.
I'm trying to reach out to like older friends that I haven't talked to. Not older, but I mean like friends that I haven't talked to in a while.
I would have
and
been on the list before,
Well, we talk regularly,
Yeah.
but yes.
but there have been times when we've gone.
Sure, yeah. But I've been reaching out to friends that I haven't talked to in a while, like, hey, just thinking of you, and it's been
that's
nice to like catch up with friends that I haven't talked to in a while. But it's also that thing of like, why don't we keep up? It's hard, it's
So,
hard to keep up with people.
My
Like,
question is, because I totally understand that because there are people that I'm super close with, like even my friend I went to brunch with. Like,
sure.
I was in her wedding. She went and got pregnant, had a baby, and the baby was like 3 months before I saw her again.
Right. See, that happens. That happens.
So I think, and then when you go through and you do those whole, hey, just thinking about you, I almost feel like it, and then it almost triggers like this feeling that you have to see them soon.
Yes.
And so it's like, and then you go through that whole fake, like, yeah, let's do something.
Right.
Let's do something really serious. Let's play in it. Yeah.
Right.
But every time you say, look, but for real, let's play it for real. But it's like, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. It's, I
just don't want to trigger that obligated feeling.
Yeah. It shouldn't feel obligated. It should feel natural.
You don't have to.
It's not, but but of course, like if somebody
pressure.
reaches out to me, my next thing is, oh, I miss you too. We should totally hang out sometime. Like,
yeah. And
it's just
natural.
It's just a natural reaction to me.
Yeah. And for me, like, and it's not a lie. It's like the truth. It's like, because my schedule changes every week. So it's like, I'll let you know and then we'll figure it out. And then it just doesn't happen. And then, that's time goes on.
And it just goes on.
It's one of those things, if you don't make a concerted effort and be like, okay, I'm putting you on the calendar for sure, it just slips through the cracks.
Like even right now, I've made a plan with, and that's my best friend for this Friday to like have like a best friend night.
See?
Like, but we have to plan it. We have to be conscious about it.
Adults now.
Because I guarantee, and the crazy part is we're adults, but I'm an adult with no kid.
Yeah.
But yet I still am busy.
Yeah.
But do you remember those days?
And I don't like the time, the feeling that like if I don't have kids, I'm not busy. I'm busy
doing other things.
Catching up on sleep, baby.
Right, and being busy, I'm busy,
having a
working,
out, socializing. Exactly. And just like, my days just consist of different things, but trust me, my days are full.
But do you remember being in your early 20s? I don't know if this was the same for you or maybe it was just me. When you didn't have plans, like so-and-so would just come over and be like, okay, now we're like, we're doing whatever. Now we're just like having fun and doing other things, and we're going out.
Yes, Michael, that person. Yes, but yes, I totally agree.
Because you didn't have anything else to do.
Because there was a time in my life, if my friend called me and was like, "I'm gonna come over," okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm like, huh?
Right. Now it's like a plan.
Now it's like
in 2 weeks,
I don't want to be tricked into that, so I might not even answer your phone call.
Isn't it weird how that changes? Because I
does.
genuinely remember like looking forward to Bob. I don't have a friend named Bob, but like so and so's gonna come over.
I don't know Bob.
And then now it's like, oh god, Bob's gonna come over.
Yeah, it's like a totally different feeling. It's a totally different feeling, and I think it's
just part of getting older.
Yeah, even like how I don't even like to. You have to make plans, and you have to make plans in advance with me.
100%.
Otherwise,
it's not happening.
It's hit or miss if I'll even answer that phone, honey.
And even if it is happening, I'm not gonna be happy about it.
I will be happy, but don't let it be a full weekend, honey.
Better not be.
People be like, "What are your plans this weekend?" Oh, I have dinner. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all
I got time for.
Yeah.
So I wanted to quickly ask this question and just talk a little bit about it because it was a pretty interesting start to our conversation, and I was like, let's stop right here because I want us to talk about it on the podcast. Question was, we were talking about annulments.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Alimony.
So we were talking about divorces and whether or not alimony is going to, it's like legitimate, right?
Should be
legitimate, or do you believe in alimony? Which alimony is basically like you paying it's spousal support,
right?
But after you get divorced, for whatever reason you weren't working, whatever the reason is, because there's so many different reasons. It's not always just because you started a family. Some people want alimony and they have no kids.
Okay, so when it comes to alimony, I think it's just another way to split assets when you are divorcing someone that you've been with for, I always say, if you've been together double digits, you help build that life.
Sure, I agree with that.
So it's just, alimony is just a
but
way
you haven't put in as much work.
I say, you know what, and I find that...
Is it 50-50? I mean, what if there are no kids?
So even if there are no kids, I always find it funny because it shows that our internalized sexism, where we feel like
that's vice versa to me.
No, what it is that when woman stays home and is a stay-at-home mom, you feel like her work inside the home is not valued. That is work, whether it's raising the kids, cleaning, cooking. If you were gonna get someone professional coming in, that's what you're doing as
but
whether that's male or female.
You're looking at it just from a female perspective, not she. It's a person.
Whether it's male or
no,
female.
we're not putting in the same thing. No, we're not.
Yes.
If I'm just cooking and cleaning, I'm not giving the same as you. No.
Why do you think that?
Well, especially if there's no kids, because you're cooking and cleaning regardless if you work or not.
So when I come home and I whether it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I am cooking a meal every single day. Does that mean that when somebody goes outside the home and is a chef, they're not working?
Okay, so my thing is,
or if you have a private chef, if you have a private chef come in and cook for you 3 square meals a day, is that not a job?
That is a job.
That is a job.
You went into it saying, this is my job and this is what you're going to pay me to do it.
And that's, so you're bringing value to the home.
Let's say there's both people working.
Hold on. So you're bringing value to the home. Whether I do the cleaning or you bring someone in to do the cleaning, we're still doing a job. Now, if we're both working, as long as the chores, the cooking, the cleaning, the household duties are split 50-50 because we're both working,
which you're usually not.
Then that's fine.
Which they're usually not.
Okay, and that's additional work.
Cooking and cleaning is not a full-time job.
Why is it not a full-time job?
Because that's where you live.
So when
half
you
of the mess that
maintain,
you're picking up, and half of the food that's going into your mouth is you sustaining yourself.
So you're
as well.
saying that as a stay-at-home mom, if I do all the cooking, all the cleaning, the laundry, the errands,
so that's where that's the difference. You're putting mom in.
So now,
you're putting mom in.
No. I'm not saying mom. It's just a stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home spouse maintaining the home. You
can maintain the home and work.
Okay, so that's additional work. So whenever you're working 40 hours a week outside of the home, we need to stop thinking the work that's done inside the home is not work as well.
Or we should stop being lazy and know that you can do both.
I think you both live alone.
So you're saying that.
There you go, Michael. Hold on.
What you're trying to say is that when
let Michael, because he might see both of our perspectives.
I know I do see both of your perspectives. I think you both bring up good points, but I think you both live alone. You both have a clean, tidy house. Mm-hmm. You don't need someone else to do that work for you.
I just can't imagine.
I'm not cleaning up after anyone else. I'm not cleaning anyone else's laundry. I'm not cooking for anyone else. I'm
as a person
responsible for myself.
So as a person who's lived with a spouse that both of us was working, I was still, to be honest, doing the cooking and cleaning.
Okay, and that's not fair.
I mean, it's fair. That's the deal we made. I mean,
and that's a deal I would not make.
I don't. The whole cooking and cleaning and maintaining a home, it's not the same thing as bringing in 6 figures a year.
It is, and that's what we need to stop.
Would you be able, Jillian? Would you be able to clean houses and make 6 figures a year? Could you clean houses? I'm asking a question on that.
What I'm saying is that we need to stop saying that maintaining the home, whether it's the child rearing, whether it's the cooking, cleaning, shuttling kids from here to there.
Kids. That's a caveat.
Even if you don't have any children, then
why aren't you working?
Maybe that doesn't make sense for us. Whatever deal you make.
So give me an example of a situation where for both people not to be working, why it would make sense for me to take care of everything and all you have to do is maintain the home.
So what I'm saying is what I bring to the home, as far as what I do inside the home, if you're going to say, hey, I work 4 hours a week, I don't have to do any of that. I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do any of the stuff inside the home. If you were by yourself, would you pay somebody to come and do those things since you're busy, or you're on your own?
No, I do it on my own.
Yeah,
okay, so when you do it on your own, you're just taking care of yourself. You're not taking care of anyone else. I'm still taking care of you.
Girl, but you're not wiping ass. I'm going to cook either way.
But there's a difference between cooking meals and cooking for myself, or going out and
not cooking your meals. I'm cooking I'm cooking. So obviously you live here. You're my man. You're gonna eat off this plate.
So when you cook and you're being fed. So if somebody says you don't think that's an added value for you.
That is a value.
That you don't have
that
to.
Does not mean that we gave 50-50. I don't think so.
What you think is that when you go, because and that's why I have a problem with this, because you think because I can go make 6 figures being an investment banker, that work is worth more, which you're just literally
monetarily it is.
You're sitting at a desk playing poker or gambling with other people's money. So that means that you bring in a salary, and yes, you do that. You win your gamble. You bring in a 6-figure salary. So you feel like because I don't go and sit at a desk and gamble other people's money, for let's say if I was married to a finance guy,
cook and clean and maintain a home by yourself.
I could have maintained a home by myself,
right?
What?
Cook and clean for yourself. Could you maintain a home that way? Could you?
For myself, yes. Why? What do you mean?
Okay, for a job.
Yeah, I see. You're
talking about for a job? Yeah. But I'm talking about...
I follow you.
Cooking and cleaning doesn't pay the bills, hon.
It does for some people. Like,
if that's the deal, if that's the agreement.
That's the agreement.
But I'm saying, if this person's making $200K... I mean, yes, maintaining a home is work, Jillian. And I do think there is an added... caveat when it comes to children. Once it comes to children, that is a full-time job.
Right.
It is not a full-time job for me. As like right now, if I got me a man and he was making $200K a year, and I sat there and did not go to work, no kids, no pets,
Genuine has a song about
literally just picking up around the house throughout the day.
So that's
cooking and doing the grocery shopping. You think I contributed as much to that household as him?
And what I am saying is why it's not like I'm like sitting watching TV all day, getting my nails done, getting my hair done, doing nothing. You assign saying, hey, cooking, cleaning, and maintaining the household is not work.
I didn't say it wasn't work. I don't think it's 50% of the work is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't necessarily, especially if there's no kid. If there's kids, that is a full-time job.
If it's kids,
yes, that's my full-time job is raising kids.
So
who am I raising?
So let me get you. So get me.
I'm doing what I would normally do if I live by myself or not.
Right.
So what
I would clean if I was living by myself.
Cook.
And I would cook if I was living by, and I would buy groceries. Maybe I have to buy more. Maybe I have to cook more.
No, but what I'm doing for the spouse that goes outside the work, that is something I'm taking off your plate that you no longer have to do for yourself.
Sure. So you do contribute, but not the same percentage.
But that person contributes to finances.
Let's say I go outside the work. Let's say I go
again.
That person pays the bills. Like if they didn't have this person who was cooking and cleaning, like the person
it would take away from
the fact
doing their job.
So let me get this straight. So let's say we both go out and work 40 hours a week. He makes $150,000. I'm a teacher. I only make $50,000.
Right.
Does that mean that I no longer? That means your contribution is not as much as mine. So
no.
Then
no. They're both working.
Okay. They're still working. I'm still working 40 hours a week.
Right.
You're not working 40 hours a week cooking and cleaning, Jillian.
I don't know like I said, we don't know what your day-to-day is. I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I've never been a stay-at-home mom. There's a big difference between when you're taking care of yourself. Because when I'm at home by myself, I'm only doing laundry for myself.
Sure.
I'm only cooking for myself.
Right.
And typically what that means is that I cook one day and have leftovers for a couple days. So I'm not even cooking every single day.
Sure.
But if I'm having someone else in my household
living with you,
and let's just say I'm the one working.
Right.
That means that when I come home, I don't have to worry about dishes in the sink. Vacuuming, if the laundry's done, the meals, the grocery shopping, maybe even sometimes these stay-at-home moms, they actually are the ones that go through and do all the banking and making sure that's all set and aside. The money gets deposited, but I'm the one making all the bills, budgeting. That is totally when you're taking care of all the finances in the home. Can you understand and that you're bringing value?
Can you stop and think that it is different from being a stay-at-home mom and a stay-at-home wife? There's a difference. You just added children.
Yes, because that's an added layer.
That's a full-time job. That is a full-time job.
So the difference is that
it's not a full-time job to cook and clean.
I think it is. When you're maintaining a household, I think it is.
And basically, if you're maintaining a household and you paying all the bills, that's basically you paying me.
I think I just know people
Right?
that are.
That's what I'm saying. That
So you're paying me. So that's why you're paying all the bills, and I get to live here, eat, and buy all these groceries, and never think about where the money's coming from. And that's one of the benefits of me actually cooking and cleaning.
that's what I'm saying is that it does bring value. So when you're saying you're not
you
working,
honestly think it's 50-50.
yes,
With a stay-at-home wife, it's
Yes.
50-50.
yes. Because at the matter at the end
He
of the
works
day,
80-hour
when
week,
I'm maintaining,
but it's 50-50.
when I'm maintaining a home, that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week,
'cause
365
mind
days
you,
a year.
he's
I don't
probably
get-
working.
I don't get vacation.
There is no vacation,
There's
girl.
no
You're
vacation.
laid up. How long does it take you to clean a house?
Why do you assume?
How, Jillian?
Why do you
Jillian, even if
assume?
you're maintaining a house, how much of
Okay.
your day is taken up with cooking and cleaning? Just guess. Just
Janice,
guess.
let's say
Just
I'm
guess.
cooking a
I'm
meal.
asking you a question, so I'd like you to answer
I'm
it.
just saying, because it doesn't take me 8 hours, it's still work.
It don't take you even through 2 hours
so
a day.
let me. Okay.
And then on top of that, I worked 8. So say I work 80 hours because my job is that
Okay.
demanding. Still
11-hour
50-50.
days.
Okay.
Still 50-50.
So if I go get a part-time job,
Still 50-50.
we good? So if I go get a part-time job,
Well, I know one thing: when he leave you and you don't get no alimony, you can take care of yourself.
so when I work, if he works
Because
80
at the end of the
hours
day,
and I work,
you leave that man in that position of power.
and that's what I'm saying.
He's got the leg up.
And
honey.
I think that's where the disconnect
And he
becomes. When
does.
someone is a stay-at-home wife, there's this connect. There's this idea of somehow you have the Peg Bundy version of being a mother, where she's just sitting down eating her bonbons all day, and she's not, and
Well,
What was Peg doing, Jillian?
she wasn't doing anything. But that was the joke behind Married with Children. She did not take care of them kids. Nothing. But there's
So, do you don't think there are people at a home with kids
That do that.
that literally do nothing still?
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that why do we assume when someone is a stay-at-home mom, they're not contributing to the household?
Well,
I
let's
think
start
we're not
off by
saying-
saying I never said stay at
yeah,
home.
we're not saying
That was my main caveat.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Moms.
alimony because child support is for your children.
Right.
The alimony is literally just for you. For what?
Child support is so that your children are taken care of no matter which parents they're with. But I'm just saying, if I've been married 20 years and you have never had to worry about a damn thing when it comes to that household for 20 years, I think I deserve that alimony.
That's your part. And you were doing your part during our marriage, and now we're divorced.
But I gave up something to do that. I sacrificed something so that you can advance in your career.
You sacrificed being able to relax 90% of your days.
So now when you're out there working your 80 hours, you're not worried. You don't have to worry about a damn thing of what's going on at home. You come home, relax, and that's it. You don't have to think. You turn off your brain, and that's it.
And the way it works, as much as I agree with 50-50 households, as far as like if I'm your wife, it's 50-50. Once I'm not your wife, it ain't. Because at the end of the day, the check only comes in one person's name.
Yeah.
And what I think is,
You don't put,
that...
oh, my name's
If
Janice House and I'm married to so-and-so, so this check is ours.
Okay, so
no.
and that's when it comes to that, I know I wouldn't be in that situation because I can never, ever depend on a man who's...
An individual, another person.
I know my financial security depends on if a man likes me. Because the minute he doesn't like me, all of a
Right.
sudden,
Okay, so that's
I
really
would
my
never,
point.
And so for me personally,
necessarily think-
I would never be a stay-at-home mom where I don't have money set aside that's in my name only, so I don't have to worry about alimony if this man decides I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm trading you in for another model. That I'm never going to be in that situation because I would. A man is not a plan. So
Come on, Michael. Michael's been dying to say something.
okay.
No,
Go ahead, Michael.
Janice, I think I will totally, I don't want to say I'm one-sided, but I see what you're saying and I feel it because at the end of the day, no one's saying that it's not worth the work that you're doing.
It is.
But we're just saying, I'm saying, and she's saying, I think the fact that there are no kids involved,
Right.
that changes the whole dynamic.
It does.
So
Raising kids is a full-time job.
it's a full-time job. And I don't think anyone disagrees.
Nobody's
with
taking
that.
away from that. You have kids. You should be
That's a full-time
supported.
job.
The kids should be able to live the same lifestyle. All of that.
But let's say let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say if it's a man that stay at home and the woman is making all the bread.
Right.
Does it change the dynamic at all?
And I think in our society it does.
I think in our society it does.
It totally does.
Because it's like, oh, you're not the breadwinner. You're not the
of whether the woman's going to get to keep her money.
But how it's viewed is when a man does it, he gets a pat on the back. Oh my God, you're such a good dad. Oh my God, that's so wonderful. You're doing that.
Including kids.
But then,
yeah, he's a dad.
So, but when it's a woman, it's that's your job. That's what you're supposed to do. When men are stay-at-home dads, they get a pat on the back. They're like, oh my God, they get adulation. Where they're like, when you're a stay-at-home mom, they question you and to be like, what are you doing? You're just, it's easy. What are you doing? You're just at home all day. So it's easy work. Okay. There is a double standard when it comes to domestic.
So let me ask you this.
Work.
So let's.
Men
before I
are
forget,
giving like, oh my God, you did this.
Damn,
oh my God, you're so. Let me finish. So what I'm saying is that women are, because of the patriarchal society we live in, when it comes to domestic labor, women are expected to do that. And if a man somehow is advanced and does it, he's given a pat on the back. Well, we're expected, and they're like, oh my God, here's a treat. Oh my God, you did that. Oh my God, that's so great. That's so great. You did that. Oh my God, you're the best husband ever. Well, women are, duh, that's what you're built to do.
Of course you're supposed to do that.
Of course that's what you're supposed to do. Duh.
Okay. So, because I know you're the type of woman who doesn't like, damn, Jillian, if you just let me get a word in, that's how we're remember. So let's say you had this amazing career, you're making $200K a year. Mm-hmm. Would you be comfortable having a man stay at home if it was best for your household? No kids.
If it made sense for us, yes, absolutely. I would be perfectly fine with that.
And you'd want to pay him alimony if y'all had a divorce. Let's say he cheated on you. You want alimony?
If he cheated on me.
Why? Y'all still contributing.
See?
You still did it.
That's where it's tricky.
Okay.
So you don't want to give him that?
At the end of the day, that means that even at the end of the day, if I'm making $200,000 a year, does that mean I give you 100 and I get 100?
Well, that's what you're saying.
That's
50-50.
alimony. I never
we were both doing our part.
We're contributing.
I mean, my 50% was just as important as your 50%. So I get 100K, honey.
No.
Half of your assets.
Yeah.
That's the team.
I took care of the home.
But then again, if I'm making $200,000 a year and you're a stay-at-home dad, best believe we gonna have a prenup, post-nup, everything's gonna be.
Why?
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 We both put a finger.
Yeah, we were like, wait. Okay, so tell me why you want to. Because technically, you guys did 50-50, so it should be 50%.
So what I'm saying,
50-50.
Okay, what I'm just saying, you're still contributing to the household. You may not evaluate it at $200,000 or $100,000, however you want to split that.
I thought it was 50-50 still.
Yeah.
I'm still contributing.
Did you not?
But what I'm saying,
the dad.
I personally, if someone is staying at home, taking care of the home, and I'm working however many hours and I'm making $200,000, I personally know that is a contribution. Now I'm gonna leave you out in the cold with nothing.
Oh, not 50%. Even though they did 50% of the work and taking care of the household and the children.
We'll see. We'll see.
Now we'll cheat. That does knock some dollars off.
So why is it that you cheat if you contributed that amount?
Your conversation completely flipped.
Yeah, if you
when we put it in yours.
No,
it did.
It flipped because when you're saying, "Oh, he cheated."
What does that matter,
I'm definitely going to knock some dollars
down. Well, first of all, he didn't have a prenup about cheating. He didn't have a prenup about cheating.
Exactly.
So I still contributed the same things to the home.
That's a betrayal.
He could come back and say,
it doesn't matter if
she worked so much.
So if I change my mind and be like,
into this affair, then what?
Right.
If I say, if I don't want...
She worked so much, she don't pay attention to me. I need to get some affection somewhere else.
And people do that.
But I still have a lifestyle she's made me accustomed to, and I need to be able to maintain it.
So you're saying that if she cheats and she's like, "Well, he out there working 8 hours a week. I need affection too."
No, we're not saying it's not valid. I mean, it's not.
We're trying to put it in the perspective of it's not so simple to be like alimony 50-50. It's not the case. Every case is different, and I don't think every case is going to be 50-50.
Okay,
no, if I make $200K a year and you're not working.
We're not
contributing the same.
What I am saying is that if you're a stay-at-home spouse, male or female,
this could be the whole topic right
you may not. I'm not saying that. Hey, if I make $200,000 a year, then you automatically, when we get a divorce, you're gonna get 50% of my salary for the rest of my life. That's not fair.
No. But 50% of what's in the bank account, though.
whatever we accumulated during the marriage,
50%.
I think, yeah. I think, yeah.
Wow.
She's full of shit.
Yeah. No, I feel like,
She don't believe
yeah.
that shit.
No, because if I feel like if I was
50% and alimony.
if I was a stay-at-home mom, and whatever I stayed at home when I was staying at home, like I said, taking care of the household, contributing as far as taking care of the household while you're out working, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. The assets that you build, because I'm able to take that burden off your shoulder.
Right.
Yes, I do. I think I am entitled to 50%.
So you're right. So you would give your spouse 50% of what's in your bank account and alimony for the next 6 months, so he can build up and get accustomed back to the life that you took him from.
Alimony for 6 months?
Yes. On top of 50%. Sure. On top of 50% of the bank account.
Sure.
She's full of it.
Sure.
Okay.
If I only have to pay, we built that life together. So I feel like if the shoe was on the other foot, yeah, I helped you build that life. And especially if
and that's what I'm saying. I think because now you kind of change it up, Julian. And I feel like with the gender is different. This is what I said in the beginning. It's like it's totally different when it comes to the man doing the same exact contributions. It's like women, because they have been suppressed for so long, they're like, oh, you've always discounted the woman's contribution.
And let's be honest, women are on the back foot when it comes to divorce. When it comes to divorce, the population that is most likely to become homeless after divorce are the women.
Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised. Live with your family. You know, because it's easier for a woman to go home and go back. I think it's just easier for a woman to go back. Does that make sense?
Not necessarily. Yeah. Not every woman has that support system to be able to fall on, especially. Well, no, I know that.
I'm saying, like, in general, I think. Do you not think it's easier for a woman to go backwards and go live with her family, like, than a man?
I do. I think you're right.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think just the judgment you would get, even though the judgment does not matter. Right? Yeah, like, screw you. You don't.
It's just the way
ain't paying none of my bills. So, but it's just like a normal.
It's a stigma.
A stigma. Yeah, there you go. Totally. That's exactly what it is. Like a stigma when a man's living with his family versus a woman.
He looks like a lesser than men.
Yeah, because most men are.
Because you're literally looking at that man. Why do you live with your family?
Right.
Right. Whereas a woman's more so like, oh, I just got divorced. I moved back in with my parents. It's like, it's literally not as big of a deal.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, that's just how society is, because how we're set up, men are seen as the providers. So if you move back, I think that's seen as a failure for a man. A man feels like they've failed because they're not able to provide.
Well, because at the same time, when you meet a woman, you know, you're not able to say, this is what I can provide as a man. You're basically saying, hey, what can we do together?
Right.
Which is, and for me, that's fine, but I feel like it's fine to know what we can do together, but it can't be like you have nothing else going on outside of this relationship or when we started this relationship. At this point, if I was 25, 26, I'd be like, come on, babe. I'll show you.
Yeah, I mean, I think
let's do this thing together. I think now I'm more like, I'm pretty established, so I need you to kind of be at my level.
Yeah, exactly. When we when we are at different stages of our lives, we require different things. The things that were okay when we were in our 20s versus our 30s, and now I'm barreling into my 40s. My mindset is different. Where I'm at in my career is different. Those changes as far as time goes along. So I would need different things or require different things of a partner, which is totally fine.
Because I'm in my mid 30s now. So like the things I was looking for, even in my late 20s, totally different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I think, and the crazy part for me at this point in my life, I feel like literally if you have nothing to contribute to make my life better, I'm
why are you in my life?
I'm good on you. Yeah. Like, we can be friends. Yeah. Friends with benefits, even. Like, but no, like, I need somebody who I can
enrich.
Yeah, like let's talk about stocks together. Let's talk about our future together. Let's talk about, are we gonna build a home?
Right.
If we build a home, what would our budget look like? Like that kind of stuff. Like I want to talk about our future. Well, I don't want to talk about
what are you doing on Saturday night?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's what it means
Yeah.
to.
What did you do this weekend?
Yeah, but that's what it means to build a life with someone. Those are discussions
I
that need to be
in
had.
that wheelhouse of your life.
Yeah.
Ready.
So for me personally, we're just talking about this, that I've been in banking over 15 years now. And for me personally, it is very eye-opening because I have seen, as far as financially, what divorce can mean. I've worked collections, customer service, or worked frontline as far as actually doing like the deposits, opening accounts and stuff like that. Divorce is very expensive.
I think you're completely separating a life from somebody.
It's time consuming once you've built a life together, unraveling that, and divorce can financially devastate someone.
Sure.
And for me personally, I know in this stage of my life that is probably going to be the top topics that we will have to discuss and hammer out before I would ever consider living with someone, marrying someone. I need to make sure that I am financially not going to suffer, whether in the relationship
Whatever
or
happens.
or if the relationship
So,
ceases to
How do you
exist.
go about? Okay, but I agree with you because it's the same thing I'm saying, but I can't say that's going to be in the first month or two of dating.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm going to protect myself financially. So that means that I'm not going to financially depend on someone.
That's like what was it? Why the fuck did I get married? She never saw his finances. No, let me see your bank account. No, fuck a screenshot. Let me see it.
Yeah.
What do you make?
Exactly.
Let me see a stub.
So I would not have gotten caught up like that, because at the end of the day, for me to merge my life with someone, which includes merging my finances, I'm always going to be cognizant of what that means and making sure that I am on a level footing no matter what.
Right.
While we're in the relationship and after the
Well,
relationship.
that's why I actually thought the girl from Why the Fuck Did I Get Married messed up. Like, that was her biggest mistake, is never putting her eyes. Like, I don't have to have the login for your bank account.
Right.
Of course
You're
I don't.
asking for that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I don't want it. But I want to be able to put my eyes on your bank account. Right? Like,
That's
at some
fair.
point, I should have seen you have this much liquid cash or
Right.
liquid money in your
Yeah.
bank account. That's it. I don't need to see your investments. And as a matter of fact, if you say, well, my money's tied up in investments, so you're broke.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me.
Yeah.
Okay, what investments you got? What's liquid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's liquid?
Today.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like, if we got in a bind today, you got to go through 5 different people to get the money? No.
You don't have the money.
Yeah, then you don't have the money.
Yeah.
So, and guys, I'm unsure of how we got into this complete topic, because it really has taken the rest of the night, and it is now our main topic.
Welcome.
Welcome. We're talking about divorce and alimony, which
That's why we
none of us
started
are
out.
married. I think, and then we
Or
all
divorced.
have like pre-PTSD of
Pretty
the
much.
whole entire institution of marriage, and for me, is it weird? And I actually will ask you guys this: is it weird for you? Because for me, the older I get, the less importance I put on being married at some point.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Because honestly, I am
Now I feel like it would take work to convince me to marry you.
Right.
exactly.
As opposed to before, when I'd be like, oh my God,
Exactly.
let's get married.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
for me personally, you have to compete with my peace when I'm alone. And so I
yeah.
think for
There's
me,
nothing more peaceful than that.
I know.
nothing. You have to
Nothing.
make it more enjoyable to be with
Enrich.
you than I enjoy being by myself or
I
being with
can't
myself.
say that that's not the case, because I know with my ex, that was one of the reasons I knew I was like, oh, I'm in love with him.
Right.
Like, that is how I knew I was in love with him. I actually enjoyed being with him more than being by myself. And I was
Right.
like, oh, okay, I'm in love with him.
That's how you can
Yeah.
tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what any future partner, that's what they're competing with.
You want that.
Is that peace, that
Security.
that security,
Yeah,
that
and
happiness
In that
I
relationship,
feel-
it should
yeah.
be your peace. Like,
I
being with that
shouldn't-
person should be your peace.
I shouldn't have too much added stress.
Yeah.
You need to be making my life easier, not more difficult.
Right.
Either maintain or make it easier. Anybody gonna make my life worse
troublesome,
or more
or-
troublesome, more drama, bye. Come on, move it.
So just FYI, I personally have come to the conclusion where I feel like being in a relationship is going to cause me more stress no matter what.
Me too.
Good or bad, it's going to be more stress than being alone.
I was
right?
just talking to my friend about this today, about the notion of getting married is no longer what it was when our families were getting,
No.
it's just so different
the
now.
importance of it, the meaning of it is
It's
totally
so
different.
Now it's like,
And I'm just like,
why?
yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's just nice. It's peaceful.
It's not necessary
I
to be
think a
happy.
lot of with the younger
No,
generation,
not
we
anymore.
are redefining things and doing things on our own terms, not necessarily because it's expected. Because
Yeah.
you're not required to do any of that stuff. Whether it's
Yeah.
get married, have kids, however you
I feel like
imagine
it's
your
just with-
best life. You shouldn't feel guilty. Whatever that life is, whatever you imagine, like this is what I want for my life. This is the ultimate, and go after that. You should never feel guilty for that. And however you choose to construct that life,
You get that question a lot, Julian. The are you married? No.
Well,
Do
don't you
have
want to be?
kids?
Yeah.
no.
Why?
Yeah. I get
And then
that.
I go, and then you want to go like, especially the kids question, like I can't have them. It's pretty sensitive subject. You want to do
Thanks for
something like
bringing
that,
up, yeah.
because it's like
It's so
you
personal.
don't know.
You don't owe anyone an
There's a lot of
explanation.
people-
And at this point in my life, I'm like, I was never in a rush to have kids. Like, I won't say I will never, but it's not my be all end all goal in life.
You have further aspirations.
I would love it,
And there's plenty of
but
people.
to be honest, the idea of giving birth is traumatic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's how
sounds awful.
That's how we all are when it comes to milestones. Because when somebody's been dating for a while, they'll be like, "When are you going to get married?" Okay, well, we get married when we're ready to get married. When that couple finally gets married, the first question they ask after they say "I do" is, "When you going to have kids?" Wait, hold on, we just got married.
I don't
Can
want kids.
you-"
How about that?
Yeah, and then sometimes it needs to be mind your business.
Right. Right.
We get married when
Do
we
you
ready
have
to get
kids?
married.
No, leave it at that.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
ask
what,
that further
those
question.
are things that
Because those answers could be really sensitive. And
Yeah.
it is sensitive.
And that's one thing I do not, those are questions I do not ask people when they've
No.
been dating a while. I don't ask them when they're going to get married
No.
or do you want to get married? That's none of your business.
I
If
get
they
the
want to
why.
reveal that to me, that's perfectly fine. But I'm not going to ask you flat out, or if you are married and you don't have kids and you've been married for a long time, whatever reason that you don't have kids, whether you choose to or unable
And
to,
you know what?
that's your business. I'm never going to ask that question.
So I get all the time at work, oh, you don't have kids. Why? Oh my God, you're not married. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You should be married. I'm like, okay, but I just don't understand. And then I'll have even meetings at work and things like that, and they'll be like asking about like my background, and they'll be like, well, you don't have any kids.
Right. So you're somehow less
you
than.
you should be able to do this
You
and
have
this.
the time. You have the time and the
Well,
resources.
let's be real. You don't know people's lives because
Yeah.
kids are not the only financial contribution you have in this world. Especially
Responsibilities, yeah.
responsibilities, right? And there are people in my life that still ask me for things and need things, right? So I'm just like, it's so rude
It is
to
rude.
me at this
Yeah.
point, especially there, because you shouldn't be counting my money.
Of course.
You should be paying me what I'm worth.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
Forget what I have to contribute to and
That's
pay.
irrelevant.
That's irrelevant. What am I doing for this company, and what does that position deserve of what I'm doing?
Absolutely.
And so I just think it's crazy when they're like, what are your financial goals? Because if my financial goal is to literally save up millions of dollars and travel the world
That should
and
be enough.
eat grapes, that's
Yeah.
my business. And it has nothing to do with you. And it doesn't mean that I didn't do the same type of work, whether I have two
Children or
kids
not.
or if I want to travel.
Yeah.
So I hate that's, well, you don't have this. I'm like, well, first of all, let's be clear. You don't know what I have. You have no idea what my situation is. You have no idea what my financial burdens are.
Well, and
first
things
and
have
foremost.
changed since even Janice and I were in high school. I mean, quite frankly, without mentioning any names, there are people that we went to high school with that their only goal was to have kids, and that's great.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I know a particular person who has 4 kids and is our age, and I can barely take care of myself, let alone 4 people.
I don't want
know?
to. And I
want
literally,
to.
I've got to the point where, if I have kids, it'll be one.
Right. But
It'll
4,
be one.
it's like
4, no. Hell no.
That's too-
2, it seems...
That's
Too much.
Pushing it.
Yeah.
Like two, like this point in my life, they couldn't even be spread out.
Right.
Like I couldn't have like one now and then like have one 7 years later. Like it would be like, if you're gonna have another one, Janice, pop it out right now.
Well, and
You got another couple years.
spoken to this particular person, and they I won't say their gender, but they have said, like, oh, these kids are so much on me, and it's like, and it's
I can
like,
do it again.
and I'm thinking, well, maybe,
Maybe you should have slowed down.
because
Eased into it.
I mean,
Work with the first one or two, then decide on three,
Feel it
then
out.
maybe four. Four. Honestly, feel like at this point, four should be an accident.
I mean,
Always.
that's a lot of kids
Four should be an accident at all times.
at our age,
Four.
because we're not old.
Four.
That's a lot.
Four.
Yeah,
That's a lot of.
it's a lot of kids. It's a
Even
lot of-
my best friend growing up, her mom had 5 kids. Just whoa.
My mom grew up in a family with
Whoa.
11 children. 11.
Yeah, our mom
On
9.
a single family, single parent.
But mind you, like even though my mom was 9 kids, like the oldest one, like there was like there's like a 40-year gap between her and the old, or was it 20,
Yeah, I
25? The gap between her and like her oldest sibling.
Yeah, same.
So
same.
our mom has
She
half siblings.
had babies
that-
from 16
that
until
actually-
like 40 something.
Yeah, so she had our grandmother actually has grandkids the same age as
Our mother.
our mother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were in the same
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's how. So
area.
it might
They're
be
only
even
like 1 or 2
30 something years apart.
Wow.
Because like I said, she started having kids at like 16, 17, and then she had kids
She had
all
our-
the way up to like 43.
Yeah.
Wow.
She had her mom at 40, and then she had
Two others.
my mom's 2 younger brothers after that.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And no longer are women. I think women were at some point, in our era, were defined by how good of a mother you are, how many kids. You
I think
can
that was the
procreate.
role. There
That
wasn't
was the
really
role.
a career
No,
path for women at that
no.
time. So
It
like
was a different time.
really like that is your job. Your job is to like
Bear
get
children.
married and have kids. And I
Right.
think the
You
way
didn't
that
have any
society
other-
is now.
Aspirations.
Yeah, you didn't have any other options.
But I've read, and please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, not really.
I've read that wait, what generation is this? The
Gen Z?
Gen Z.
Gen Alpha is actually
They have a Gen
Oh.
Alpha next. Those are like
Okay.
the
Then Gen Z
toddlers
is
and,
okay.
uh,
So no, sorry. Gen Z is the one before that, right?
So
Yeah,
Gen Z
is
late
gonna be like
teens, early
your-
20s.
Okay.
like early 20s to like 11.
There have been studies that I've looked at that show that they are less and less inclined to have kids, like at all, let alone at a certain age.
I mean, I'm a millennial and I'm less and less inclined.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's just a part of it is I think we've been screwed over financially with the
Oh, fuck.
capitalism. I think with
Screwed.
the environment, it's harder to move up.
Be healthy.
Our
Right.
ability to earn
Pay
a
rent.
higher income is our income is not rising along
Mortgage.
with the cost to
Right?
a cost of living.
Crazy.
So
insane.
and I think fortunately a lot of boomers they weren't saddled with student loan debts. They were able
they could raise
to
a family on a mailman salary.
yeah.
Literally, they were making
yeah.
like 30. The crazy part is I remember our mom when she moved to Texas from Jamaica. Yeah. In 92, 93. Her
No.
rent for
when we moved to Texas. We moved to Texas in
97, so 80. Well, I was 10 when we moved out of that apartment, so it had to have been like 91 or 92.
When we moved to Texas?
When we moved out of the apartment. I'm talking about the apartment in Richardson.
Oh, 97.
That's when we moved from there. So I was like, it was like 92, 93, like when mom moved into that house or apartment.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So she was paying for a 2-bedroom duplex. Like it was nice. It was like looked like a little mini house, little backyard, front yard, everything.
It was a condo.
Girl,
so
it was super nice.
Yeah.
Super cute. Richardson. She was only paying for like $550.
Oh my gosh.
$550. I paid that in a car note.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
my
That's
first
That was a 2-bedroom, Michael.
Yeah. And by the time I got a car in 2002, I was paying
you triple that, and I'm still not up to what I pay in rent.
yeah.
Yeah.
And our
crazy.
salary hasn't increased because I remember my first car I paid for in 2001, I paid $211 a month for that car.
That Yeah.
I have a friend that went to.
And just imagine she was paying $500, so you double my
oh
car.
my god!
But when I
She was
started
paying
my
that for
car note, I
rent.
remember my first car, it was like $320 was my car note. That was my first car. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to afford this?
Yeah.
I have a friend that went to Juilliard and paid $68,000 a year for school, and is now a server, aspiring actor.
Oh my God.
So
You never know when his break's going to come, though. You never know.
but the point I'm making is,
I mean,
like,
I have a Baylor degree. And that shit is just about there.
68,000.
I mean, I have a good job, but it's
that
not
is
enough.
a lot of money for school.
I know.
And then, I'm sorry, he's not a doctor. You know, like, come on.
Like, I have a degree, a bachelor's degree from Baylor. Still not done paying my student loans. I have a good career.
Right.
Yet still, I feel like I was duped.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
duped, honey.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. I think
System.
honestly, when it comes to millennials and younger, when you're talking about finances and getting married and all that stuff, I think a lot of us are just like, honestly,
How did I
sometimes
get
I
here?
like, I give up.
Yeah.
I give up. I'm just gonna just rent for the rest of my life.
That's how I feel.
and
God, it's hard.
know.
Oh, me and Jill are just talking about buying houses. It's crazy.
it's
too
crazy.
much.
And
It's
I was
too
just
much.
like, it's
to even get something equivalent to what our parents have, you're
I
looking
know.
at $500,000 or more.
Oh, yeah. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
To what our
It's
parents
depressing.
had.
I know.
Granted, our parents like bought these homes in Frisco
Right.
for like
A million years ago.
$100K.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
150, 175.
Like literally, and these are 3-bedroom,
Yeah.
nice ass homes,
Right.
4-bedroom,
4-bedroom,
nice ass
yeah.
homes in Frisco.
Right.
And they're now
I
selling
know.
those same exact
For
homes
like $600K.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
But
with no improvements to the house. It looks exactly the way it did in the early 90s.
well, you know,
late
a good
90s.
thing for mom is she definitely did a lot of work on the house. So
Sure.
she got it very much up to speed. But
Yeah.
guys, here we are. We literally just had like
So-
bull.
what's your final thought as far as alimony? 'Cause that's what we said.
alimony divorce. My final thought on that is I'm not in agreement with it.
Okay.
Child support, sure, but if we split up and we're a couple, I mean, I think I should get a settlement, like as far as like if I wasn't working, but for you to continue paying for me when I don't want to, like you should be
Yes.
done with me. Like
Yes.
we should be done with each other.
I'm with you.
We're divorced. So continued payments, not a fan, but saying like, hey, this is what you guys earned as a couple. Here's what we're going to have you get the house, split it all up. Don't continue with, no, I'm not a fan of alimony, no.
Okay, Michael, what do you think?
Yes, the patriarchy. Yes, men have a lot of advantages in life. Yes, you know, the things are
Yes, they
geared towards the white male. I don't disagree with that at all. However, I do side with Janice when it comes to everything she said regarding, I do think it is favored towards the woman in this particular instance. I won't get into all the details because we've discussed this already ad nauseum.
Very
Ad
detailed.
nauseum. I think that we have, you know, we have some differing views, but I do think the woman, not all the time am I saying this, but a lot of the time is favored in terms of like what the man has to do to bend over backwards for
To just accommodate for, this is the time we spent together. This is what you're owed almost.
in this instance, not in all life.
Yeah. And
Because-
I think there is a case by case scenario
Yes,
too.
it is different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But as far as alimony and what it represents,
yeah.
And so my final thoughts on that is alimony is rare to begin with. Most people do not get alimony.
Yeah.
Is that
'Cause
something
it's not
that's
really
not,
fair.
it's not something that's happening. And at the end of the day, it is definitely a case by case basis because I feel like there's a lot of spouses who sacrifice a lot for the lifestyle that is attained during the marriage. And I think when you've put in decades, you've earned that alimony. And so I feel like, yeah, why?
see, that's going to make me,
Yeah.
it's a final thought, so I can't say anything. But in my head, I'm like,
But yeah,
but why not just get the
it-
settlement or the split of assets?
Then in that case, that's not a difference. Whether I take a lump sum and I just leave, or you pay it out
Well,
over
because
a
usually
certain period of
alimony is
time.
both a lump sum
No.
and a monthly fee.
No, most people, if they have the means, they will just, instead of paying alimony, they'll just do a lump sum and be done.
No, sometimes
If not-
it's court ordered. You pay this out of the bank account. This is your alimony payment.
It is, like I said, it's rare and it's case by case. And I feel like if you've found that judgment in your case, you earned it.
Tis what it is.
Yes.
It's what it is. I mean, I guess you're winning. You're winning. Hey.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we're gonna get out of here.
Thanks
It's
for
been
listening.
a long Monday night. Good night. Goodbye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on the latest episode of Let Me Finish. Thank you guys for joining us for another week and listening to the latest episode. Don't forget, go like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platforms. And you guys can also follow us and see us on different platforms. I am on Instagram, and that's going to be Uniquely Janice. And then I'll also be on TikTok, Janice H, GENICEH. Michael, where can they find you?
I'm only on Instagram, and it's Kasra Salimi. And by Kasra Salimi, I mean Kasra Writes, because I changed it and I just forgot. So it's KASRA Writes, WRITES.
Yes. Jillian, where can we find you?
Instagram as well, and it's New Jillian Who Dis.
New Jillian Who Dis. All right, well, we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.